Today, I want to share the 3 biggest lessons I learned from writing my first ever narrative short film. Let's get to it. What's going on, family? Welcome back to the lounge. It's your boy A1. It's been a minute since I've been back in the channel. I'm excited. This first video of 2025. And this year, I'm just committing to consistency. I really want to just start sharing more content and being consistent on this channel. And so today, I got a great one for you guys. If you follow the channel for a little bit, you might have seen my vlog. I'll put it here or here in the description about my first time going to a film festival for a short film that I wrote and directed called Meal Ticket. Meal Ticket is a short film that I wrote about a tough, loving father in the inner city that has hoop dreams for his daughter, but gets hit with the harsh reality of their environment. And so this is a film that isn't my first film that I've directed. If you go to my channel and you go to my playlist, and you can watch a lot of my short films that I've done in the past, but this is the first one that I've actually written and directed and didn't DP myself. I had a DP shoot it for me, a good friend named Chris Durr. I'll get into that in future videos. So today I wanted to share some lessons I learned, but also I wanted to announce that I'm releasing my short film online. It's its online world premiere, February 2nd, 2025. And so if you have been waiting to see it, I've been waiting to share it. It's had a film festival run, and that run is finally over. I'm excited to finally share it, man. So 2/2/25, be on the lookout. And if you're here locally, I'm actually doing a Kansas City screening with my good friend Chris Durr, who also directed a film called Others. We're doing a joint screening on January 15th here in Kansas City. And you can get those tickets in the description below. I'd love to see you, talk to you. I would appreciate the support if you came out and showed some love. So lesson number 1, writing a narrative script takes practice. So leading up to me actually writing the script for Meal Ticket, I did a lot of research and a lot of practicing. One of the most practical things I did is I just looked up online some of my favorite films and from some of my favorite directors and just read their scripts. Like, for example, I would download a lot of Ryan Coogler's scripts for Fruitvale Station, for Creed. I watched Dune, and at the same time, I would take the script, watch Dune, and then read it as I was watching it to see how the scenes would play out, both on paper and on the screen. So I did that a lot, reading scripts, learning from other screenwriters. I also took a masterclass by Aaron Sorkin about screenwriting. And in that process as well, I took a bunch of masterclasses on about 3 different directors that they have on masterclass. One of them was Spike Lee, Ron Howard. I took Martin Scorsese's masterclass, but I was just soaking up as much knowledge as possible. And this is before I even had an idea of what I wanted to write. I just knew that I felt like I wanted to write a story. So that's the first thing that I did, and I learned a ton. And that's something practical that anybody could do. It just takes time. It takes hard work to just research, study, and study your craft so that you can tell your own story. Lesson number 2 is write what you know. You've probably heard that 1,000 times, but it's very simple, but it's very effective. When I was researching, how to write a script, kind of get my mind wrapped around script writing, I didn't know what I wanted to write. And I was kind of struggling because I'm like, man, I was working on 3 different ideas. I actually wrote a short film in script form just to I just made up this story about an alien, and it was a comedy, but it was just for me to practice. It wasn't something I wanted to film. And so I was just practicing and kind of coming up with stories. And then as I was talking to a friend, I was like, well, why don't I just write what I know? And so that's when this idea of Meal Ticket came. A lot of the story just came out of me. And so once I created these characters, it was like then they became their own kind of living organisms, and the dialogue kind of just wrote itself. But once I established, kind of the plot of the story, it was filling in the blanks. And so a lot of the pre-work that I did of, screenwriting, how to write a dialogue, things that I learned in the master classes, in the books, kind of went into practice once I had my plot. And that simple idea of write what you know just came out of me, and that's what you get from this film is some of my story, but then also bits and pieces from things that I've seen growing up, other friends. And so once you watch the film, I hope that you feel the authenticity, because a lot of it comes from either my life or people that I know, and I wanted to write something real that could connect to people. So lesson number 3 is write a story that you can create within your time and your budget. What does this mean? So for example, if you have $5 to make a film, I wouldn't suggest that you make a sci-fi film that needs, a $20,000 budget to make look like a real sci-fi movie. I would suggest taking out your iPhone and writing something that you can make with your iPhone. So that's what I mean when I say, write a story that you can create within your time and your budget. If you know you only have 2 days to do a short film, you can't write, a 100-page script and think you're going to get it done in 2 days. So for me, for example, I knew that I had limited budget and I had limited time, and I wanted to do this short film in 1 day. And so I thought of a story that I could shoot in one location, and that I could knock out in 1 day. We actually shot it within, I think, like something crazy, like within 6 or 7 hours. Wasn't a lot of time, wasn't a lot of, time to make mistakes. But it was a fun shoot, and I created, I think the script is maybe like 5 to 6 pages because there's a long dialogue scene. Maybe even less than that. I gotta look, maybe it's 4. But I wrote a very short film that I knew that I could do within a lot of time that I had. I wanted to shoot in 1 day because the more days that you have on, for a film, the more expensive it gets. You got to feed people. If you have permits, you got to rent the place out and things like that. So I wanted to do it in 1 shot, 1 day, and that's how I wrote it. So hopefully that was helpful for anybody looking into writing or directing their first narrative short film. I know I learned a ton. I shot this film back in the summer of 2023, and I was hoping to get it done like within 2 months so that I could hit the short film festival circuit. But a lot of stuff just got in between that. There was a lot of stress going up into production. We had to change locations because the first location was in like a very bad neighborhood and it got shot up. And so it didn't feel safe for the crew to be there, the next week. So I had to pivot and find a whole new location. It took me about 6 months-ish to like finally picture lock it, and then I went into color grading, sound mixing it. I had a team do those things for me, and so a lot went into this project. It's very stressful. The probably the most anxious I've ever felt, leading up to it. Post, the pressure of making something that the cast and crew are proud of. But in the end, it was definitely worth it. It won a ton of awards in the film festival circuit. I think it got accepted into like 9 or 10. I actually picked up one of these. It's an award for best screenplay at the San Diego Short Film Festival. You can watch the vlog here or in the description. So it was all worth it in the end. I got picked up a few awards, got selected in a bunch of film festivals, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. It will be premiering on my YouTube channel, so like, subscribe, do all those things that YouTube tells you to do. I appreciate you guys. If you're local here in Kansas City, January 15th, there are still tickets available for that screening, so come hang out with your boy. But thanks for hanging out with me in the lounge. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.